My pleasure. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Stephanie, also known as the Credit Repair Queen. I'm the president and CEO of Precision Credit Restoration, and it's my mission to empower you to take control of your financial life, educate you on the importance of having good credit, also to elevate your scores to new heights. So, I help real everyday people just like you and me with real credit challenges to get real results so that they can achieve their financial goals and improve their overall quality of life. Welcome, Winning Winfred. Just let me know where you're joining us from when you join the live stream so I can know where you guys are from and your names. All right, so that is my goal, it's my mission, and today I wanted to jump on and do this training because there's a lot of people that write me. Houston in the house, welcome. Orlando, welcome. DC, right around the corner, I did know that. Georgia, hey. Okay, Miss Raina, you are from Tallahassee. I do remember that. All right, so I wanted to do this training because a lot of people ask me the main question: how do I improve my credit score? What can I do? What can I do to add more points? And I thought that I would just go ahead and give some pointers out there to you guys because there are simple things that you can do without doing the full credit repair process. Of course, there's more to it if you're going to do a full credit restoration service, but there are ways to add points to your score even before you do all of that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. 5 secret credit tactics that are going to add about 50 to 100 points to your credit score, regardless of your current credit score right now, regardless of being denied credit in the past. We're going to give you some strategies and some resources as well. So you can click the link in my bio and that will take you to the worksheet for today's class, today's training. So you can go over it while we're doing the live stream, and then you can also look back at it later. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We do have some people here now, so it will be available for replay. So if you miss it now, you can definitely go back to the link in my bio and watch it later. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So today you're probably here right now if you're frustrated because you have a low credit score and you just don't know where to turn. And you understand that it takes credit to have a good credit score, but you're constantly being denied. So you feel like you're in a catch-22, right? How many of you feel that way? Just drop a 1 in the chat box if you feel like you just don't know where to turn, you don't know how to improve your score, and you're constantly being denied credit everywhere you turn. And you're trying to rebuild your credit history, but you just don't know how. All right, so if you can relate to that, drop a 1 in the chat box so we can see, really where you are with your credit and what you will take you to the next level. All right, so I know I had that problem back when I was trying to fix my credit. I didn't know exactly, I didn't know exactly what I needed to do. All right, so we're going to go over 5 top strategies that's going to help you do that and some free resources for you to be able to do that as well. All right, so also what we're going to focus on is how managing your current credit cards payments is going to help you improve your scores as well. So a lot of people feel like, oh, I pay my bill on time every single month, but I don't see any improvement in my credit scores, right? So there is an art to the way that you have to make your credit card payments. All right, so when you master that, you also master bettering your credit scores as well. So we're going to go over those strategies as well. All right, so, okay, we had someone else join us. Just drop your name and where you're from in the chat box and let us know where you're joining us from. All right, again, the topic of today's training is 5 secret credit tactics to add 50 to 100 points to your credit score so that you could get more credit approvals and lower interest rates. All right, thanks for the love, guys. Keep those hearts coming. If you can relate to what I'm saying, just tap up the screen with the hearts. I really appreciate that. So before I begin, I want to share some really important stats. Hey, Carla from Nashville. I want to share some important stats with you so you can better understand why the strategies will work for you. All right. So, hello, Carnidra from Georgia. All right. So 35% of your credit score is attributed to your payment history, right? So if you have a longer payment history, the better your credit score is. So if you can improve in that area, you just improved your credit score by 35%. That's the largest factor in your credit score. All right. The second will be your credit utilization, which accounts for 30% of your credit score. So if you can lower your utilization, lengthen your payment history, that controls 65% of your credit score. Now, you can imagine where your credit score could be if you can control, to the best of your ability, 65% of your credit score. All right? So adding these positive accounts to your credit profile is going to balance whatever negative items that are already there. All right, so if you have some negative accounts, don't worry. You can still do credit improvement by adding more positive accounts to your credit profile. And that's what we're going to go over those strategies today. All right, so step one, I would recommend piggybacking. So if you've never heard of piggybacking, it is a simple way of saying, hey, you know someone that you know and trust very well, and they know and trust you, and they want to help you out. They have a pristine credit history, and they're willing to add you on to their card in exchange for you getting their payment history. So if you know someone who has, 5 to 10 years of good payment history, their credit utilization is low, very low, like 0 to 10%. They always pay their bills on time, and they have a high credit score. They don't plan on maxing out their cards at any time, and they're willing to help you, mom or dad or aunt or sister, and they're willing to help you out. Then jump on their card, and it's very simple. They just call up their credit card company, go online, add you as an authorized user, and in 30 days you get the payment history onto your credit report. Right? So please keep in mind that there is no risk to the account holder when they're doing this. They're simply just helping you out. There's no credit inquiries. You don't even have to have access to the card. When it comes in the mail, I tell people, hey, they can cut it up, put it in the freezer, like they never have to give it to you, so that they don't have to worry that you would get a hold of their card and, use it in a reckless way or anything like that. You really just want the payment history. So that is the number one strategy to help you get points added to your credit score very, very quickly. That account should show up on your credit report within 30 to 45 days, and that's an automatic credit booster. All right. Secret number 2 would be applying for a secure card or a secure loan. Now, a lot of people try to get approved for secure cards and they don't get approved, right? So there are certain companies that you want to look for, certain credit cards that you want to be sure that you're applying for, and know that your chances of approval are very, very high before you fill out an application. All right, so a lot of people just apply anywhere. They don't do their research or anything like that. But it's very necessary for you to match your profile to the requirements of the card to maximize your approval rate. All right, so you want to be sure that you're working with a company that reports to all 3 credit bureaus, that you can manage the deposit that it's going to take for you to get the secure card. Because again, you have to put down a security deposit to get the credit card. All right, and that will become your credit limit. So you also want to be sure that it's not too low, because some people will open up a $200 credit card, and before you know it, after the annual fee and using it 1 or 2 times, it's maxed out. All right, so you want to be sure that there is some room for you to actually use the card and not max it out right away. So obviously check out your budget, see what you can afford, but be mindful that you want to be using a secure card to help boost your scores, but also do something that you're not going to max out right away. Your credit utilization is going to be very, very important, so you don't want to mess that up when you first open the card. All right, so if you download the worksheet, I'm going to drop the link here for you guys so that you can get access to it. There are several secure card banks that I put in the worksheet for you to have access to. It goes over their requirements, who they report to, and what type of rewards they have as well. So you could download the worksheet and you can see all of those in there. I'll go over a few with you guys so that you are aware of kind of who to look out for. So there's Discover Secure Card. They actually have a really good rewards program, so a lot of people like to use them so they can get the cashback rewards. All right, so if you could do a minimum, I think the minimum for Discover is $200, and most of them are the same as well. All right, to get a credit line with them. And then you do have the opportunity to transfer over to to the card being an unsecured credit card. Hello, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. we're talking about adding points to your credit scores so that you can get more credit approvals and lower interest rates. So thanks for joining us. So like I was saying, Discover offers a really good secure card. Another popular one that I like to send clients to is Capital One. Capital One gives you great approval rates. They're really all about helping you rebuild your credit profile and really all about helping you reestablish your credit history. All right, so Capital One is a very, very good option as well. And you have the option to do a secured as well as an unsecured card with Capital One. Did you apply for Capital One? Making my dreams come true. Can you tell me your name again? I totally forgot. If you can remind me your name again. But I know that you recently applied for a card and you were approved, so I am so proud of you. You took the tips and you implemented them right away, and you saw results. So very proud of you. Jean, yes, Jean. Thank you. So it was Capital One that you applied for, right? Okay, awesome. Yes, exactly. So living proof right there. You know, just little tips like these can make the world of a difference. So you can start here and work your way up, and you'll start to see great improvement in your credit score. All right, so I should be throwing those letters away from Discover. Which Discover? Is it the secure card or the unsecured? Because the unsecured is actually pretty difficult to get approved for, so you want to be careful which one it is. If it's the secured route, then that's okay because you're putting down the security deposit to actually get approved. So Miss Raina 365, if you're getting pre-approvals from Discover, is it for the secure card or the unsecured? So you want to pay attention to that. A lot of people try to get the unsecured, but they're a little bit more difficult. You want to be sure your credit score is at a higher level before you start applying for the unsecured. But if you're getting pre-approvals in the mail for the secured credit card, you can definitely do your homework and see if that's what you would like to do. But they have a great earn your cashback rewards program, so a lot of people like to use them. All right, so another one would be Credit One. That is, you never open them. That's fine. That's fine. Usually when my clients get the pre-approval cards in the mail, I have them send them to me, and then I'll take a look at them for them, and then we evaluate them together, and then we see which ones that we feel as though they'll get approved for. And because again, you don't want to waste that credit inquiry not knowing if you're going to get approved or not, right? So we definitely go over the details before we choose which one we're going to do. All right. So if it's the secured route, you can definitely try your hand. Credit One is another unsecured credit card that you can apply for to start rebuilding your credit history. They're very forgiving as well, just as Capital One is as well. So again, do your research beforehand, and then you'll be able to match your needs to the card that you feel as though is the best for you. So those are 3 options right there. There's a couple more, but you can look at those in the worksheet. If you go to bit.ly/secret credit tactics, we will go, it goes over a lot of the options in there. Okay. I'm sorry, what was your fear, Miss Raina? If you could comment on what you just said so that I can better answer you, that would be great. That was my fear. Okay, so yeah, just let me know what your fear was and we'll try to figure that out. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Typically, we're able to judge where your credit scores are and what cards you'll be able to get approved for. So if you, wasting the credit check, exactly. So you definitely want to do your research. So you definitely want to know what the benefits are of the card, and if it matches your needs well enough, then you can apply for that card, right? But you want to maximize that credit inquiry for sure. All right. Okay. So secret number 3 is going to be applying for credit accounts through department stores. All right. So stores like Fingerhut. All right. That is going to, and gas cards and jewelry stores. You may not have the specific need for that creditor. However, it is something that is going to help boost your scores because they have a lower level of credit approval. All right, so you are able to get approved. Sorry, I want to be able to make sure I see your comments. You're able to get approved and start building that credit history. So a lot of people who are building that credit history, rebuilding, I should say, Fingerhut is a very popular one. Different gas cards offer great credit cards when you're rebuilding your credit history. Hey Kenya, how are you? Thanks for joining. I've been trying to reach you. I'm gonna have to call you. All right, so are you guys understanding where we're going with this so far? Any questions, anything that I can clear up as we move along? All right, so we're gonna continue. All right, so, okay, great. Everything is making sense. Awesome. All right, so we're also going to request, Staples is, however, I wouldn't start there. So Staples, you would need a higher credit score. So that would not be my starting point personally. So if that's something that you really need, I would wait until your scores increase a little bit more. So right now for these companies, we're talking, anywhere between 400 to 550 credit score. Make sense? All right, so yeah, just let me know if everything is making sense to you, or if you have any questions or anything I need to clear up. But yes, I would definitely start with a secure card, all right, or one of the unsecured cards that I mentioned already, or the ones that are in the worksheet. All right, I would start with being added as an authorized user to someone who already has a significant payment history and a low credit utilization. All right, and that's where you want to pick up the momentum and then start building from there, because once you get those 2-3 accounts on there, it's so easy to build from there. All right, and then everything goes a lot quicker. All right, so secret number 4. Good question, but where's your current credit score? So that's another thing we would need to see as well. So I wouldn't just start sending you random places. What I would do is actually see where your current credit score is, and then we would pick and choose, because a lot of these creditors have different requirements, and then your profile could be different than somebody else's, and then you get approved and the other person gets denied because of other information on your credit report. So that's something that we specialize in. We're actually looking at your credit reports, looking at your current credit scores, and then we're able to really decipher what's the best route for you. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Absolutely. Anything I can do to help. I love teaching and sharing great information. So yes, you're very, very welcome. Marion, by the way, thank you. Welcome, Marion. All right, so is this making sense, Marion? So I wouldn't just say, okay, go to Walmart, right? I want to know exactly, okay, where's your credit score right now? What does your credit profile look like? Do you have any other accounts? So you don't want to go to Walmart and you don't even have a car loan on your credit report, or you don't even have one credit card on your credit report, right? So you want to be sure that you have some type of foundation, and that's why we start with secure cards. So if you're anywhere between a 400 and a 550, you want to start with a secure credit card. You maximize the use of the credit inquiry, right? You know pretty much beforehand whether or not you're going to get approved, and you build your score, add positive credit to your profile, and then other creditors will lend you credit because they say someone has already done so. And then you want to practice good payment habits with who extends you credit, right? You don't want to take advantage of it. So you want to be sure that you are actually, using it wisely. So if they extend you credit, pay them on time, and then you want to be sure that you're keeping your utilization low, so that when you are ready to apply for Walmart and Staples and Best Buy and all those other stores, you're ready to do so because your credit scores are higher. So does that make sense? All right, cool. All right, so do you guys see how these 3 points alone can quickly add points to your credit score without you really even doing much credit repair? So this is really all about credit building. Okay, when you want to rebuild your credit history, possibly after a bankruptcy, or you're just tired of being denied credit, or you're ready to pursue home ownership and you're trying to get back on the right track. These are the steps that you want to take, and they work very quickly, right? So you want to definitely do your budget. Make sure that you are setting the money aside for the secure card, right? That could be a minimum of 200, 300, 500. So you want to take into account what your budget can handle, and then you dedicate that to the secure credit card. All right, and then you can graduate to unsecured, and you definitely want to start with like 2. I think 2 is a safe number to start with, depending on your credit profile, but 2 is safe. 2 credit inquiries are not going to kill you, so that is a really good starting point. All right, and then piggybacking, as we already mentioned, that was the first one I mentioned. Let me go back in order. Secret 1 was piggybacking, which is basically being added as an authorized user with someone that you know and trust, and they're willing to add you to their already existing credit card accounts, and that payment history will hop onto your credit report within 30 to 45 days, and you'll see a boost in your credit score automatically. Okay, and then number 2 was applying for a secure card. You can also do a secured loan with your personal bank. You may want to contact them and ask them if they offer it, because not everyone does, but that's another option, as well as a secure card is a secured loan, and it looks like a regular installment loan. You basically are paying on the loan, and it shows as a trade line on your credit report. Okay, and step number 3 is to apply for credit accounts through department stores like Finger Hut, jewelry stores, gas cards. Okay, and that is going to help you with your credit approvals as well. Once one company sees that other people trust you and extend you credit, and that you're paying well on those accounts and keeping your utilization low, then others will do the same. So that's how it works. All right, so step 4 is going to be requesting a credit limit increase. All right, so the accounts that you already have, it's so easy to meet that limit if you're using them, but what happens when you ask for a credit limit increase, right? Your utilization drops automatically. So if you go from 500 to 1500 and you're still only using 250 of that credit, your utilization is super low, right? So it's all a numbers game. So what I recommend keeping your utilization at 20%. You'll see a lot of people say 30%, 50% is okay. I like to be a little bit more aggressive and keep it at 20% or below, and that's where you see the best increase in your credit scores. All right, so definitely asking for a credit limit increase will definitely help boost your scores, because again, 30% of your score is due to your credit utilization. All right, so you may risk a credit inquiry depending on the credit card company, but all you can do is just ask them. A lot of people extend the credit limit increase without any inquiry, so that's a simple yes or no question. I would definitely just get on the phone with them and ask them, right? But asking for a credit limit increase is going to be a sure way to help you boost your scores without you having to do anything. Just place a phone call. Sometimes you can even request a credit limit increase over the online, all right, through your account online. So that is a strong way to add points to your score. Again, the factors that you want to focus on are your payment history and your credit utilization. That is what's going to give you the biggest boost in your scores when you handle those the best. Because credit is all about how you manage your money, right? How you handle paying back on debt. That's all they're scoring you on. All right, so if you can keep your utilization low and you have various accounts, remember you have a credit mix, revolving credit, installment loans, that will give you the best score. Would it be wise to wait until my first round of letters to my creditors to come back before getting the secure? Great question. All right, so what her question is, would it be wise to wait until my first round of letters to my creditors to come back before getting the secure card? Great question. Perfect. You answered it yourself. Exactly. Go ahead and do it while you're waiting. That is the first step. Yeah, I always say do everything simultaneously. So in my program, I have my clients do everything simultaneously. If you want to see results fast and you don't want to wait 12 months or more, do it right away, because adding positive is not conflicting with the negative. It's enhancing your credit profile, right? So if you can add positive while you remove the negative, right? Make sense? That's the quickest way to raise your scores. So that's why I always advise my clients to, set aside that money that you're going to have towards your secured card so that you can go for it right away. And once those cards pop onto your credit reports within 30 days, you'll see the increase. Okay? Oh, I wish you had too. Because I definitely give a lot of pointers that helps you improve your scores without you even having to do much, right? So, what kind of letters did you send out? If you could fill me in on that, and we could possibly see where you are right now. But yeah, definitely adding positive credit first or at the same time. Don't wait. You never want to wait when it comes to adding positive credit. I mean, unless you have like 100 credit increase already on your credit report, then I would say slow your roll. But no, I would definitely say go for it. If I'm from you, but I am not informed enough. Okay, great. Well, you're making a choice today. So you joined us today, and you're getting what? Informed. You're getting more information, and that's what it's all about. When it comes to credit, it's all due just to a lack of knowledge. That's all it is. And once you know the right steps to take and you implement them, you can't get the information and not do anything about it though. So that's something that you have to be wise about. So once you get the information and you implement them, like Jean, shout out to Jean, and you implement them, you start to see results. All right? So we can definitely, no, it's never too late. It's never, ever, ever too late. Everybody gets sidetracked. Everybody gets thrown off track all the time. But once you make the decision to do better, that's all that matters. Once you make that decision and you take the necessary steps to improve, then you are on the right track. So there's another question before I go on. I signed up with this company and started on a program and even signed up to be an agent, more so out of survival. Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. Did it work out for you? Yeah, there are a lot of companies out there that that offer that type of service, but it's more about education. Yeah, because if you don't have the knowledge, then you're not going to get anywhere. You have to actually know the steps to take. Right. So yeah, so here it's all about education. So if you know exactly what it's going to take to get you to a 700, right? When you're done working on your credit, you always know how to keep it and maintain it, right? And you always know how to get it back there again. Is what I'm saying making sense? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So yeah, it's all about knowledge. If you know the right steps to take, then you can always achieve the score that you want. All you have to do is just write the goal down, follow the steps, and watch your scores raise. All right? All right, cool. All right, so secret number 5 would be to ask the credit bureaus to report other positive accounts you already have. Did you know that you could do that? Yes. I want to be sure you guys are catching this. Right, so yeah, drop a 1 in the comment box if you're picking up what I'm putting down. All right, so yeah, you can definitely ask the credit bureaus to add positive information that you already, positive accounts that you already have. Now, here's 1. Okay, I'm getting some 1s. Thank you. I want to make sure you guys are here with me. So, they don't necessarily have to acknowledge your request, but it's not going to hurt to do so, right? It's not going to hurt you. So why not, right? If it can add points to your score, you got to do everything that's in your power to raise your credit scores. If you want your credit scores to raise that bad, you have to do everything that it takes. Everything that you can try, you have to try everything. All right. Oh, I'm getting a lot of 1s. Awesome. So you guys are relating to this and you are understanding, which is awesome. So yes, you can ask the credit bureaus, write them a nice little letter, very polite, humble tone. Remember, anytime you communicate with them, you want to be very, very polite. You want to be very, very humble because you need them, right? So until they do something completely wrong, you can escalate, but come at them from a very humble angle and just let them know, say, hey, I have these accounts with this positive credit history. Please add this to my credit profile. You list the account name, you list the account number, and maybe if there's a credit limit attached to it, you give them the credit limit, and that can be added to your profile. All right, so you can even add rental history because your credit reports don't include rental history. All right, so you can use a third-party service to add your rental history to your credit report. All right, so you would have to use a third-party service. A couple of them are Rent Reporters or Rental Karma. Rent Reporters or Rental Karma, okay? And they will report your rental history for you. Can you imagine you've been renting for 3, 4, 5 years and have that payment history added to your credit report? Where would your scores go? Nowhere but up. The more positive accounts that you have on your credit report, the better your scores. Okay? So you can write a very simple letter just asking them to add the positive accounts that you have in existence now and add them to your credit profile. And you will write them to all 3 credit bureaus: TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. All right? So keep in mind that if you are using rental history, that will only affect your Vantage score. All right, so this is going to be a whole nother training, but I'm just throwing it out there so that you understand. But this is going to affect your Vantage score, which is your credit scores through the credit bureaus, right? Not your FICO scores, but your Vantage score. All right, so they're trying to get that Vantage score to be implemented more worldwide. So that's what score it will be affecting. Indica, can you drop your name in the comment box so I can call you by name? But your question is, what do you do if you already disputed items online? Can you still do it by mail? Absolutely. I hope that you haven't disputed online, because that is a big, big, big no-no. We definitely preach about that all the time. Everything needs to be documented in black and white. Everything. Everything you write to the credit bureaus must be done by mail, okay? But if you've already disputed items online, have the results come back yet? So that's the next question that I have. Have the results come back yet? Because you can only have one dispute out at a time. So if you already having a dispute out right now, you don't want to go write them a letter in the mail right now. So whether or not the disputes have come back in the mail will determine if you can go ahead and send your letters out by mail. But yes, you can. The answer to your question simply is yes, but you want to be sure that you wait until the results from that round that you did online has come back. All right, so when you get to it, just drop a comment in the box and let me know. But that is pretty much the answer to your question. You definitely can still dispute by mail after you dispute online. And that's what credit repair is all about. It's about disputing, more disputing, and more disputing until you get the results you want. All right, so always dispute by mail. Always, 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 always dispute by mail. You're still waiting for a response. Okay, how long ago was that? You should receive response in the mail between 30 and 45 days. So if you have not received a response yet, I would definitely wait. You don't want your account to be flagged as frivolous. It's almost been a month. Okay, so you have a little bit more time. All right, so I would wait probably 15 more days or so. Okay, and wait for those results to come back, and then I would dispute by mail. Everything should be done by mail. All right, so we're actually going to be doing a challenge next month that's actually going to walk through that process. It's going to be walking you through how to dispute effectively, right? How to find the right type of errors so that you can dispute the right errors. Because when you dispute factually, that's what allows those items to be deleted and not reappear on your credit report. They only come back if you dispute without a factual error. Okay? So we're going to be doing an upcoming challenge. So let me know if you guys would be interested in something like that. A 5-day challenge that's going to be walking you through that whole process. Almost a month ago. Asking for info with the dispute letter. I'm not sure I understand the question. Miss Raina says she is. Okay, guys, drop an emoji in the comment box if you guys would be interested in a 5-day challenge. It's going to actually walk you through the dispute process, teaching you how to read your credit reports. We're going to teach you how to identify errors. What are the most common errors to find on your credit reports? We're going to teach you how to actually dispute them factually, how to write the dispute letter. All right, so you're going to get all the goods. Let me know if you're interested in that. 5 days. Awesome. Yep. Give me some more yeses, guys, so I know you guys are really, really into this. I'm trying to get back to this question. Okay. I sent my dispute letters out almost a month ago now, and I received something from Equifax asking for info I sent with the dispute letter. What kind of info are they asking for? So depending on what they ask for, it could be a stall tactic. So what the credit bureaus will do if they are overwhelmed or basically don't feel like doing their job, they'll send a stall tactic letter out in response to your dispute. So depending on what you said in your letter, I'm not quite sure, and I'm not quite sure what they are requesting from you, but if they request for like identification information you already sent them, that's a stall tactic. If they're saying that they weren't able to verify, that's a stall tactic. So more than likely it was a stall tactic to delay your process. And don't be alarmed, they do it all the time. That's just one of their processes. I wouldn't be alarmed by that, but be a little bit more specific about what they asked for, and then I can answer your question a little bit better. But if it was something like that, it's just a stall tactic to delay your process. Did you send identification documents with your dispute? You know, you have to send a copy of your driver's license and social to confirm your identity each and every time you dispute something. And yes, it is common. Equifax will ask for identification documentation if they didn't get it. All right, so I'm getting a lot of yeses. All right, awesome. So yes, we're definitely gonna bring this 5-day challenge to you guys so that you know exactly the steps you need to take to implement and really get your dispute processes under control, because once you know how to do that, you'll be on your way. So we definitely want to help you guys craft better letters to get the results that you want. You had your ID and your utility bill, but did you have proof of social? Marion, I see that you had your ID and your utility bill, but did you have proof of your social security card? That is required as well. So be sure to tag anybody that you guys feel would be enjoying this information, or if it will be useful to them as well. Make sure you tag some people because, again, like most of you said, it's a lack of knowledge, lack of not knowing what to do, or mixing up the steps, disputing online when you should dispute, by mail, things like that. And that's what we go over, that's what we share. So if you want to bless somebody else with this information, be sure to tag them so that they don't miss out as well. All right? Okay, so how many of you want to learn exactly what you need to have the best credit score once you're approved for these cards? So a lot of people get approved for these cards, right? But if you don't know how to manage the card, right? Manage is so important. That's how you are rated. That's how your credit score is rated. How well you manage your credit. All right? So how many of you want to learn exactly what you need to do? Drop a yes in the comment box. Give me an emoji. Raise your hand. Let me know that you really, really want to know this, because this is going to be our bonus tip for the day. Okay. Marion says yes. Tangela Baber says yes. Miss Raina says yes. Give me 2 more yeses. Oh, okay, I got like 6 raising hands. All right, awesome. Give me one more. Somebody give me one more yes, and then we'll go over the next bonus tip. One more yes, guys. All right, so remember how I told you guys 20% is the magic number to keep your credit utilization at to have the best credit scores. All right, so most credit card issuers report your balance and your payment activity to the credit bureaus once per month, right? But you need to know exactly when they do that, right? So just because you pay your bills on time, that's not enough to have a good credit score. So a lot of people come to me like, Stephanie, I paid my bill on time. Trust me, my card's not maxed out. I definitely paid it down. It really is at 20%. And I'm like, no, it's not being reflected. And the reason why is because your creditors report your balances to the credit bureaus on a specific date. Now, what you want to do is be sure that you find out this date for each and every credit card account you have. All right, you can find that on your credit card statement. You can call them and ask them. It'll say statement closing date, all right, or end of billing cycle date. Now, you want to adjust your payment strategy to the closing statement date instead of your due date, right? So once that balance is down to 20% by that statement closing date, the credit bureaus get that information, and that's how they're able to generate your score higher. All right, so if it's maxed out by that statement closing date, your scores are going to go down. And a lot of people have this problem. They're like, oh, I'm going to use it, but guess what? I'm going to pay it all off. That's not the best strategy. Everyone does that. Everyone thinks that, running it up, paying it off, running it up, paying it off is the best strategy. Oh, well, I can pay it down to 0. It doesn't matter if you can or not. It matters that balance by the statement closing date or the end of the billing cycle date. All right, so you want to be sure that you get that number as low as possible. 10 to 20% is awesome. If you can get it there by the statement closing date, I'm not saying don't use it. You can use more. Just be sure you can make that payment by the statement closing date and get it down to 20%. All right, because that's what's going to give you the best score. That simple strategy right there is golden. I reserve that for my top coaching clients. But that strategy right there is golden. If you pay attention to that date, make your payments by that date, the next time you see your credit scores, it will be higher. All right, so that is the most important thing you want to be sure of when you start getting approved for these credit cards that we went over in the beginning, right? That you manage them better, okay? And that means bringing them down to 10 to 20% by the statement closing date, all right? So you don't want to look like you're constantly carrying a high balance just because you haven't paid it off yet because it's not the due date. Pay attention to your statement closing dates or your end of billing cycle dates, and you'll see a large boost in your credit scores. All right, so you can definitely call your credit card company's customer service line and just ask them, okay? Or you can look online at your statement. Some people don't know how to read them very well, so calling them and asking them is a very easy way to get that information. But yes, if you start to follow that strategy right there, easy points added to your credit score. I can't stress that enough. Statement closing date. Statement closing date. All right, so if you guys, hope you guys are taking notes. I'm giving you all these gems, so make sure you're taking notes and remember to implement them. As Jean can tell you if she's still on here. When I tell her to do something, she does it, right? And she sees the results. So it's all about implementing the knowledge that you do receive. All right? So if you've been having difficulty getting approved for secured and unsecured card, then you definitely want to either DM me, set up a strategy session with me. We can go over your credit reports together. I can literally walk you through the steps and actually send you in the right direction or guide you in the right direction. All right, so definitely tap the link in my bio and download the worksheet for today. It has all of the tips that I went over today. as well as some credit card options for you to match your needs to, that you can get qualified for to start adding points to your credit score right away. And remember, guys, you don't have to wait to do credit repair for this. You don't have to start disputes. You don't have to wait until results come back if you've already started a dispute. You literally can start adding positive credit now. Ask someone that you know and trust, right, to add them to a credit card or two, right? That's number one. Two is applying for a secure card that you can have pretty good faith that you're going to get approved for. Adding positive credit will always add points to your credit score, all right? Or request a credit limit increase, all right? That's going to add points to your score because you're lowering your credit utilization, all right? Apply for department store cards like Fingerhut, jewelry stores, gas cards, right? More positive credit. You get the point? Add positive, remove negative. Add positive, remove negative. That's going to get you the better scores, all right? And then you want to, what was the last one? Okay. We want to add, request the credit bureaus to add positive information to your credit profile, all right? Simple, humble letter, remember. Add the name, account number, and the credit limit if it's attached to it. Just a simple request. Add more positive credit to your profile. And then the money tip, guys. It is pay attention to your statement closing date for each and every credit card that you have. Make your payments by that date instead of your due date, and you'll see a huge jump in your credit scores. All right, so don't forget to download today's worksheet. If you guys have any questions, we can open it up now. You guys have been asking questions, great questions, by the way, so far. So if you have any other questions, just drop them in the comment box and I will get to them. Other than that, that is all for today's training. Thank you all for joining me. Really appreciate the love. And I'm glad that you all learned a lot. People are taking notes. I see someone says their notebook is full. So that's good to know. So were these tips helpful for you guys? Let me know. Drop an emoji, drop a 1 in the comment box. Let me know if these tips were helpful for you guys today. And then also let me know what else you guys want to hear about. What else do you want to learn? I'm going to be on here a lot more often now, and I want to definitely teach you guys what you are looking to learn. Very helpful. Okay, awesome, cool. I'm glad that it was helpful. That's what it's all about. You are very welcome, Miss Raina. Anything else you guys want to learn? What are you guys craving to know about credit? Let me know, and I will come up with some great content for you guys. Question: how can you pay close to closing date if due date is before closing date? Typically, it isn't. Typically, the closing date is before the due date. Does it affect your credit score if the creditor closes your account? Absolutely. You lose your payment history. Yeah, absolutely. You don't want the creditor to close your account, and you don't want to close your account. So by any means necessary, try to avoid an account being closed. It severely damages your score. So if you need to come up with some type of payment arrangement before the account gets closed, then those are the steps that you need to take. But do your best to not let the account be closed. But yes, it will affect your account severely. Remember, payment history is 35% of your score. Number one key factor in your credit score, so you don't want to affect that. So if you close it, you're shortening your payment history. You want it as long as possible. You want your accounts to be open for 10, 12, 15 years. Those are the people with 800 credit scores. To not let this account, but yes, it will affect your I'm not quite sure. Is that a question, Miss Raina? I'm not sure about that one. If you can rephrase that, or... But yes, it will affect your score. Yeah, even if you have a zero balance, it will affect your score. Remember, your payment history is number one, right? That's 35% of your score. So it's absolutely important that it's not closed. Oh, you had a zero balance on the account to close it. Oh, great point. So you're not sure why they closed it, but you meant to say that you had a zero balance on the account and they closed it anyway. Happens all the time. So here's the deal. They probably inquired into your credit report, snooping around for information, and they saw that you probably were late on another account, or you had a charge off or a collection or something like that. Once they see that information, they make the decision of whether or not they're going to keep your account open. It sucks, right? But yes, they do that. So a creditor will snoop into your account when it's time to review your account, and if they see any other alarming information on there, your credit score is dropped or something like that, they'll either raise your interest rate or they'll close your account. Or if you're not using the account, were you using the account? That's something they do too. If you're not using the account anymore, they'll close the account. So that's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind as well. It takes credit to have good credit. Thanks for the love, guys. Tap up the screen with the hearts. It takes credit to have good credit. So you have to use it. They penalize you if you don't use it. They close your accounts. They give you a bad credit score. They definitely penalize you. So you have to use the credit that you do have. You was using, but not a lot. What's not a lot? Were you using it like once a year? You definitely you have to use it. If you were using it, then it was the other thing. It was they looked into your credit report, saw a late payment, a charge off, or collection, your scores go down, or some type of activity that alarmed them, and they made the decision to close the account. No. So great question. Great question. So the question is, when you say close to the closing date, a few days later is okay? Question mark. Example, if date is the 21st, will paying it today be more effective than the due date? Okay, so if I said close to the closing date, I did not mean that. I said you have to pay it before the closing statement date. Before the closing statement date, okay? Because the statement closing date is when they report the balance. So you want the balance already at 20% by the time that they report it. So if you're paying it now and the closing statement date was the 21st, it does not help you. It's still going to report the same balance that it was on the 21st. So if you missed it this month, just make sure you make it next month. Sure, you're welcome. So we're in August, so before September 21st, I would say September 17th or September 18th, so that you have a couple days for them to process the payment, and then it's on file. So I would say like the 17th or 18th, 2 to 3 days before is safe. But you definitely want to do it before, because on the 21st, the billing cycle ends, and they report that balance to the credit bureaus. So I would definitely say maybe 2 to 3 days before. So yes, if you missed it, you missed it. You just gotta wait for the next month, and that's gonna happen. So don't get discouraged. As long as you know what to do, that's the most important part. So if you don't have the money this month and you didn't make it, as long as your balances are not sky high, you can always do it next month. Make sense? So what you can do is September, put the money to the side, and September 17th or 18th, you be sure that you put that money down and get the balance down to 10 to 20%, and then you'll make it. Cool? All right, you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. All right, guys, any more questions? I'm about to get the timer kicking me off, so I want to be sure that I answer your questions before I get kicked off of live. Any more questions, guys? Question, I know that companies charge you interest when you have a balance on your account. Yes, they do. What's the question? There's 2 minutes, guys. I want to get to your question. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate it. I will be live again pretty soon, and we will be coming up with some more topics. So if you have anything else that you want to learn or you want to go over, let me know. Oh, thank you for your time, Marion. I appreciate it. Anytime. You pay $60 total. So it depends on what you bought. It depends on the interest rates varies per card. So depending on what you bought and depending on the interest rate, yeah, you're gonna pay some money for the month of August. I wouldn't be able to answer that unless I'm looking at your statement. So Jean, I would have to actually be looking at your statement. I would have to know the interest rate period. I would have to know the exact interest rate. I would have to know the amount of the purchase. So yeah, that's too specific for me to answer without actually seeing the information in front of me. Well, thank you all for your time. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. This will be available for replay, so you can always click the link in my bio. I think it's available for about 24 hours, so you can click the link in my bio and watch the replay. Make sure you tap the link in my bio as well and download the worksheet for today, because it has all of the tactics that I went over today and more information in detail. And if you would like to work with me, or you would like to see, what you need to do with your credit to get it to the next level, click the link in my bio and set up a strategy session where we'll discuss your credit, your goals, and how I can personally help you achieve them fast. So thank you again for your time. My time is running out. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Thank you, and DM me any questions if you think of anything later. If you watch the replay and you have a question, put it in the comments.